Yeah, a lot of Falcons have made roster moves. There's no surprise, man. We're getting closer to minicamp, and we're getting even closer to training camp with the training camp schedule just dropped. But here are some moves that the Falcons made recently, and one of them you may be a little bit surprised, or maybe not. The first of those signings is Devon Shea Maxwell, formerly of the UFL DC Defenders. He was one of the better defensive linemen in the league this year in 2026 for the Defenders. 23 tackles and 4 sacks. He did get a cup of coffee with the Cincinnati Bengals a couple of years ago, but that never matured, and never panned out. But he went to the UFL and has played there for the last 2 seasons. He's actually a Georgia native from Valdosta, Georgia, and went to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. So he's been around the way for a while. They are going to bring him in to compete for some playing time, try to get him some preseason time. But he's about 6'2", 300 pounds, and he's going to be probably a nose tackle and 4-3 no defensive tackle. But I actually like this signing. Keyshawn Banks is the next one, 6'3", about 250 pounds. Played in the UFL for the Orlando Storm. Ended the season with 24 tackles, 11 sacks, and 11 tackle for losses. He's an NFL veteran. He's been around a couple of years. Went undrafted by Green Bay. Picked up by them. Then goes to New England, plays in 3 games, mainly special teams, where he has 61 sacks. He's going to have an uphill climb against guys like D'Angelo Malone and other guys that they brought in. So he's going to be an interesting name to watch, but I think this will be more of a special team move than anything, knowing that they need to keep improving on the special team, which was pretty much a travesty last year. Finally, from the UFL of the Columbus Aviators, Antoine Wells Jr., better known as Juice, 6'4", 200 pounds. Very solid season with Columbus. He ran the ball 3 times for 25 yards. 25 catches, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a 9.5-yard average. And he also returned punts. So when you look at his overall ability, he's definitely a special teams guy that's going to be competing against guys like Olamide Zacchaeus, Mike Hughes, and those guys for return duties. And also don't forget Natron Brooks has returned punts as well. So it may be an uphill battle for him. But to me, this is definitely a special teams guy. And y'all already know when there's moves to be made, bringing people in, there has to be players that have to be let go. Defensive end C.J. Nunnally the fourth, defensive lineman Elijah Garcia, who they brought in on the practice squad last season, and sort of a fan favorite, Casey Washington out of the University of Illinois. He was a 6th-round pick in the 2024 draft, and he just couldn't get past concussions, man. He was supposed to be one of the starters that was taking over for Darnell Mooney when he was hurt, but he never could stay healthy. And the crazy thing about it, I think he has talent, and I think he will end up somewhere if he can stay healthy. But also, I can see him returning to Atlanta if they need wide receiver help. But when you look at his number over 2 years, he was only able to play in 15 games. And what do they always say about availability? That's the best ability. So 15 games with the Falcons, 2 starts. When you look at the numbers, they're weren't too impressive, but you got to understand those injuries and concussions and other injuries. Only 7 catches for 108 yards, 15.4 yards a catch, and I think he was a special teams guy as well. So when you look at it, yeah, he absolutely was a special teams guy in 2024, having 47 snaps on special teams. So he was kind of a fan favorite, but like I said, I could see him bouncing back and ended up on another team or end up back in Atlanta on the practice squad or something similar to that. And those are the roster moves that they just made. So let's keep an eye on this roster because it's going to flip flop all the way up leading up to week 1 of the NFL season. And trust me, some name that you may agree with, may not agree with, but hey, that's the world of football. That's how business works. But tell me what y'all think. Drop those comments, and I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Peace.